Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is B from Kongs R Us, and welcome to a Sunday Funday show with my beautiful Mrs. Kongs R Us, who is not here yet, but she said that she wanted to come and do something special because I was going to talk about San Diego Comic-Con. And what do you do at San Diego Comic-Con when you're Mrs. Kongs R Us and you have a lot of outfits? You cosplay. So she went to go get something and decided to say, hey, I'm going to stall a little bit while she comes on over here. Because today I'm going to talk a little bit about my time at Comic-Con this past few days, as well as the years and years and years I've gone to San Diego Comic-Con and experienced one of the most fantastical events in the entire country, if not world. It's so unique. I'd love to hear your comments in the chat if you've ever been to Comic-Con and if you've had any fun stories and experiences. We went to Comic-Con for the very first time, San Diego Comic-Con, because I know there's a couple other ones out there, but there's nothing quite like SDCC. And I only say that because I'm biased, because I've only gone to that one. I don't know about New York Comic-Con or any of the other Comic-Cons out there, but SDCC, I think, is still the biggest one of them all. And so that's what we're going to talk about today and share kind of the very first time we ever went in 2005. Cosplay was a big part of that. So Mrs. Kongs R Us is going to come back soon. She has her beverages. We're doing it in the evenings. Hopefully you guys caught Console Kits, Michael B chatting earlier today, as well as 19K Fox for coming over from those streams. Thanks so much. And we're going to be hanging out tonight. This might be a new time. I think Sundays have been flexible for us the last couple of weeks. We used to stream on Sunday mornings for our Sunday Funday show, but we've started to like sleeping in a little bit more. At least Mrs. Kongs R Us has convinced me that Sunday mornings maybe aren't the best time to stream. We originally wanted to do it so that we could, let the kids sleep in, have our time to ourselves to do this. And now we're at the point in our lives where our kids are a little bit old enough and we can have them on digital babysitters for about an hour while we talk with you, the chat. So hopefully you guys are going to have a good time today. We're talking a little bit about Comic-Con, and Dubs is already here asking, where's my cosplay? Opportunity missed. You know what? You're right. I did feel that I missed a big opportunity this year not cosplaying. I did not prepare for Comic-Con because normally when I prepare for Comic-Con, I prepare months in advance thinking about what I'm going to wear. And this year I did not cosplay, and it's making me a little bit sad. But Alex is here. Alex is one of my good time friends. 2005 was the very, very first year that I went to Comic-Con. It's really cool. There's a 19K Fox raid. And speaking of 19K Fox, I think he's here hanging out. What's going on, 19K Fox?
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Good, man. What are you drinking tonight?
I'm in the Elijah Craig, and I just poured another drink, buddy.
Ooh,
another
fancy,
drink.
fancy.
Yes.
I might need a beverage
Yes,
soon myself, but so speaking
Look out,
of
there's somebody
missed
behind you.
opportunities.
I thought you two were going to be cosplaying.
Yeah, I thought I was supposed to too. So I mean, Dubs is already saying that I've
got a lightsaber. I always have a lightsaber. Does that help?
That's not cosplay. I was told we'd all be cosplaying today.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
You look fantastic, Mrs. Kongs R Us. For folks in the chat, who is Mrs. Kongs R Us? If anybody knows, I'm not sure how many Nier fans there are, but Fox, do you recognize Mrs. Kongs R Us?
I don't.
You don't. I've never played.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm in trouble.
It's okay. It's okay. It's just one of the greatest games of all time.
Well, you phrase it like that, I know I'm in trouble.
Mr. Khalifa says 2B. This is an awesome 2B cosplay. Nier Automata, if you've never played it, is one of the best hack and slash games that was made by Square Enix. The same people that make Final Fantasy.
Dude.
They made a hack and slash game called Nier Automata. It's on the PlayStation 4. It's is she Mega Man? She is a little bit of an android, so
I don't think she's Mega Man though. I'm pretty sure she's not Mega Man.
Not quite. Is she Peach? Oh, you are not deplete.
Ooh, no.
Alex is saying that you need that blindfold though, so
I could be blindfolded this whole thing and
you could, but I'm glad you put on your TV outfit. That's awesome. So that's pretty deep cut. Yeah, it's really good. If you look it up, Nier Automata, again, hack and slash game, has so many fun elements of it. I just started playing it about a year ago, and the kids are really into it. It has a really awesome soundtrack. It's super deep. And then I was like, hey, Mrs. Kongs R Us, would you ever wear one of these things? It became a little bit of a cult thing going on. But I mean, you want to show off your cosplay really fast?
You know, it's really bad. We just had a bowl of noodles for dinner, and I can't zip anything up right now.
All right, we got to make a really big
I have the same problem. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. So that's near. That's 2B. So
I'm not like zipped up half.
it's all good. So 2B is an android, and this is her android fighting outfit that she runs around with giant swords. It's freaking awesome. I need to get some 2B gameplay going on. But Rafi says, yes, I'm a lucky man, and that I know. It gets a like for me from effort. Thanks, Mrs. Kongsrez. It's a great game. People know. Oh yes, and the floating katana. That's right. Oh, it was actually by Platinum Games, and Square published it. Good man, good to know. Well, Fox, have you ever gone to a convention or anything and cosplayed yourself? What would you cosplay as if you had an opportunity?
Okay, so the go-to I think for me would be a Jedi. Pretty simple to pull off, right? You get the cloak. I have like 1,000. I have lightsabers everywhere, but I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan.
Oh, nice.
I love Dragon Ball Z. I'm watching Super. It's okay, but Z is really where my heart is at. I'm a Goku fan. Obviously, I think I could maybe pull off Gohan with the short hair.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I do not listen. Nobody has the physique that they do. So, but you know what? My third runner-up would definitely be Solid Snake. I love Metal Gear Solid.
You make a good Snake.
I got the
box or without the box, because we've seen people run around with boxes in the car.
All they do is just walk around with the box and they go ring, and they make that little like sign with the little like.
I gotta have the exclamation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to see Fox's Solid Snake, good one.
I would love that. Yeah, I gotta get the mullet though. I gotta grow my hair.
Yeah, that's true. There's so many variations of him too.
So Console Kit says you could do Kylo Ren.
Wait,
okay. Maskless.
Is that true? Are you a post trilogy fan? Is this
no? Yeah, I think he may know that. I am a original trilogy. I also like the prequels, for better for worse. Sequel trilogy. I'm happy for the people that like those. I'll just leave it at that. I'm happy if you like them. I'm happy that you like them.
Sir Sega says you could totally be the original Boba Fett.
Yeah, so that's if we're going fantasy world. I feel like Fox would make a really awesome Don Draper.
Yeah. You walk around with your scotch.
Yeah, you're already kind of halfway there, right? So you just need to put on that suit and just yeah, there it is.
I love it. That's
19K Fox for you. So how was the stream? What did you cover today? I know that you covered Star Wars kind of stuff. And talking about NFL Blitz and things, is there any kind of stuff that you didn't get to? I appreciate you doing the stream overrate over here, but if you wanted to continue your topic really quickly, I did want to get to talking about San Diego Comic-Con. So if there's anything that you started.
No, that was actually it. So I had really just two main topics. One was NFL Blitz, talking about that. But San Diego Comic-Con, some people maybe saw the lack of a reveal, like a physical, like here's a thing, right? Was maybe a negative, but I think that there was more that came out of that. Specifically, David McIntosh and the interview that you and Justin had with him. I think it revealed a lot, and I think that it was. I was pretty interested. I was pretty actually fairly excited, being a Star Wars geek. Because he was pretty adamant. Multiple things are going on Star Wars related.
Yeah, so I love the way that Justin was able to pull that out of him again.
Oh yeah,
we had been talking about what are we going to ask them to say, and I had some offline conversations with them about what their plans are, even being at Comic-Con in general. So for folks that haven't caught up, I was at San Diego Comic-Con from Thursday and Friday, supporting Arcade1Up and looking at their booth at the Lucas Pavillion. Which is the Star Wars themed area that has not just like the official Star Wars branded stuff, but like lots of vendors that do Star Wars things, selling tons of Star Wars products. So they were just one of many people in that area. It wasn't like a Arcade1Up booth. And in fact, they've been there previously, and we've went in 2019 and 2018. I've seen videos of John D at Comic-Con before, so I'm curious what else they brought in the past. But these types of events for Arcade1Up, what they're called is not really meant to be like a reveal. And we kind of know this. These are called activations. These are meant to bring more awareness to the product, to also sell some product, right? Which I'm sure they do. They sold some products via QR code for those custom t-shirts. But this was meant to really bring more awareness to the brand. And through one of their more popular IPs, they have Star Wars Pinball. And they had a Star Wars machine in the back that you see right there in your background, but they're not available currently. But everything that you just said, David McIntosh said, I asked them, I was like, hey, do you guys have plans for like more Star Wars stuff? And it was an absolutely type of thing. So that definitely gets you thinking, what were some of the biggest speculations when you heard multiple Star Wars things? What are you thinking?
So, okay, so obviously some sort of re-release of what we have. Atari, they've done it. It's proven. It's successful. So some kind of a re-release, a bundling, fatigue mats galore everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's knee jerk is going to be trilogy. That's definitely, I think everybody wants that. I think they could redo what they've done before in an XL form factor. But you think about, it's funny when you think about the arcade Star Wars games, it's always a joystick, a yoke, like the pod racer games and the thrusters. It's rarely like a side-scrolling beat 'em up, and so they're sort of limited as far as form factors. So I think, which in my opinion is a good thing. Stick with 3/4, stick with XL or Pro size, and I'll pretty much, sad to say, I'll buy whatever they put out when it comes to
whatever they put out Star Wars related.
Pretty much, yeah. It's sad.
I see a lot of people talking about just a re-release of the original Star Wars in an XL form factor. So let's talk about that rumor and that kind a little bit of steam right before the Smog City event where John D came onto one of my shows and we were just talking and spitballing because I had brought on folks that had done some crazy Star Wars mods. And then he was like, yeah, Star Wars XL, that could be a thing. He wanted to see more mods and things. And it snowballed into like, yeah, that could be part of our plan. It could have the bezels and things, but it started there. So it's not like people were going to be like, hey, we're going to announce it right away in 3 weeks at Comic-Con.
Right.
So the speculation side of things, I know the community loves to hear and they want to hear, but Shushan made a good comment about like, this probably wouldn't be the good time to announce something. It would have gotten drowned out in everything else that Comic-Con's got going on. This is an event that's focused on video games and big announcement. Marvel. They don't have a dedicated panel for themselves, right? It's not the right audience, I think, but it is casually introducing Arcade1Up to hundreds of thousands of people that walk by, and that's what it was meant to do, honestly. So I think this wasn't the right place to do an announcement, even if they had something ready. But yeah, it was cool to see them there. Did you ever see? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but you say that they're sort of introducing Arcade1Up. I think it's in a pretty powerful way when you consider the brand that they're really leaning on and representing. I mean, Star Wars. Mm-hmm. For better or for worse, no matter what you think about the movies that are currently going on, even new Star Wars has had success in the shows. You have Mandalorian season 1 and 2 if you watch my channel for a long time, last episode of season 2, I cried. Okay. So it's definitely got some bangers, right? When it comes to Star Wars, it's still, the brand still has a ton of weight. If you're going to introduce Arcade1Up, tying it to Star Wars is not a bad way to go.
Absolutely. I agree. What do you think about Arcade1Up at the Star Wars Pavilion at all? Do you have any thoughts about it?
It does seem to allude that they might have something coming out Star Wars-y. I mean,
you remember going to the Lucas Pavillion, right? Like where they had all like the purses, or they have like these things called Enzo rings where you can buy like Star Wars wedding bands that are like rubber. So
I love you.
I know exactly. Yeah. So many things.
I remember seeing like the first time their release of the Black series, all the helmets and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
They do a lot of things, but it's always like partners. And Star Wars is one of those brands that likes to sublease their brand to other companies. So it's not just Lucasfilms making stuff; it's anybody that wants to do Star Wars related things. But yeah, I've never seen them in the past. I didn't know they had a presence there, so it was cool to see that. It gives me hope that I when I saw their booth there. I'll just give you my first opinion. Even though they had 7 pinball machines and it was Arcade1Up, I thought they could have done a little bit more. And maybe they were limited in terms of what they could bring because it had to be Star Wars only related things.
Right.
But from a booth design presence, and I'll just say this honestly, I'm working with Liv for the last 2 events, right? I think the team might want to work on like their booth design or setup, right? Like something that helps visually make it pop more. Like they didn't have their t-shirts displayed that were the exclusive side things. So when you're talking about appealing to Comic-Con folks, the exclusives of like, hey, if I go to this booth and I can get this t-shirt, like I would have liked to have seen that. So they're not just coming in and play. People were playing casually the pinball machines, but they weren't. I think
it wasn't a draw.
Yeah, it wasn't a draw to like, hey, how can I buy these? Oh, I can get a t-shirt. So I don't know if the t-shirt was enough of a draw to like make a $600 purchase on site for those folks that were there. So I would have liked to have seen them maybe visually step up their booth setup a little bit more.
I got to tell you though, but the t-shirt looked, you saw it in person. The t-shirt looked great, especially if you are a Star Wars fan. I think that if they had if they had a circular sort of booth where look at that. Like now you're just rubbing it in my face. What are you doing? I think if they had some sort of like a cylinder in the middle, and it may be high concept, but some sort of a cylinder in the middle. And you can have lettering, decals, whatever you want, a big lightsaber in the middle, whatever. And then around that, even if all you had was pinball machines, if they were all plugged into that cylinder and they all sort of went around 360-degree access, everybody can see it. Anybody can walk up to it. But I agree, you got to have the t-shirts. You got to have, something else.
It was such a tight space. The fact that they made 7 pinball machines fit in that space and kind of this little area, they had to do what they had to do. But even working with Liv at the event at Smog and the Ruler Brewery event, I thank Joe and Sergio, the street team, for building all the cabs that were there. But and I think about, and maybe this is just recent events that I've been at, but the Shack event or the event that they did with the F1 Formula, they probably hired an outside marketing group. I think, those E3 events or what is it, like CES, like they probably have, like they used to hire somebody that does the design of those booths. And I think they're kind of like just slowly starting to get back into these. These felt like grassroots, low-key events that I came in and influenced a lot of like, oh, I think those 3 caps should go here. I think the counter cage should go here. This is going to set up like this. Let's set up the tents. And so, coming in as a new person just to help out at the events. I know Liv is new, but I was like, I hope that they will, when they do more of these events, think about the visual setup of them to bring more of that appeal to the masses. Like, what's the best way to set up a display booth? So that would be something that I'd like to see from them a little bit more when they're putting these together. How can they get more people playing stuff? But in the end, they all turned out nice. But I just happened to see some of the behind the scenes planning of coordinating some of those things. So that's just one of the pieces of feedback I have for these. But I'm excited that they're even doing these in general.
I think it's pretty interesting the way you said, because you and I both know they have experience. E3, a giant, NBA Jam cabinet. They know what they're doing in some content. But when you say that, it's interesting. It's like, are they sort of resetting, stepping back? Let's maybe rethink some things. And maybe that's why it seemed more like a grassroots, where you and I both know they have experience. They could have pulled off maybe a little bit more, but maybe it was a rethinking. Which in and of itself could be encouraging.
I mean, it was really cool to hear from the guys that were there, right? David McIntosh, Cyrus, and somebody named Eric, who's their operations guy. Those were the 3 guys that were, busting their butts all weekend long at the booth, pretty much from, 8, they had to get there to set up all the way till 7, and they kind of rotated shifts. So they were there on their feet. There's no chairs at the booth. They're pretty much there all the time, rotating shifts. I was like coming around like 2 o'clock. It's like, hey, did you guys eat or have any water yet? They're like, yeah, we're taking breaks. So they were working. Liv's role, as well as Sergio and Joe, were setting up the event on Thursday night. So they were there kind of Wednesday and Thursday setting up. Liv was there kind of Thursday, Friday as well, doing the event. So they had like a small but mighty team that was doing presence, right? And when they were telling me when they used to do CES or those other events, they would have, 30, 40 people from the company go to those events where they could really, really set up. And that was their main focus, if it was their main draw, right? And so I think this was something that they had to do to, prove that it's still worth going to these with different resources. And so, maybe they'll do more of these activations. And now that they can know that there's some good returns on them with the people that were able to do it, I think they could potentially even engage the community more. Like, I went down in a volunteer capacity, for the most part, since I'm local. So, but if they do other events at other locations, I think they could have the opportunity to activate a fan base or other folks to come out and support if they really needed
Very
help.
true. I mean, the Smog City event was crazy. It was John, Joe, Sergio, Liv, and Nicole. That's it from Arcade1Up. The rest of it was staff. So
our volunteers.
Voluntold.
She was big volunteer event. So,
and we
voluntold. I like that.
Voluntold. Yeah, we were on our feet from 8:30.
I made her get up early.
10.
Yeah.
Constantly running. I don't even know. I probably went to the restroom twice all day. But having something that's small, that present, like the more staff that you have that can help you facilitated. I think maybe they are trying to get more of the community to be aware. But what I was trying to say is that we got a lot of volunteers come out and help us, and we're so thankful for the folks who did. Ralphie, who stayed the entire time. So, like, I'm here. Put
Ralphie's in the chat. That's right. Yep, I saw him earlier.
Awesome.
It'd be great just to get like more of the community to help out too, to kind of pitch in, to feel like they have some kind of agency as to like what's happening.
Yeah, Roy Williams is asking about NFL Blitz. No comment about Blitz at the moment. I probably have some feedback about it, but it's it's a cab that I personally don't have a lot of experience playing, so it's hard for me to like make coverage about it. But no particular comment about Blitz, but I know there's a lot of speculation out there. But somebody was asking, Strasega said, how many Arcade1Up employees rotate in and out of the company? Could explain the inconsistency. I do know that they've really grown. They used to have 30, 40, 50 employers. They're up to like 150, I think. So they've almost tripled over the last couple, 3 years, was what I was told.
But they're all spread out, right?
They are spread out, but that means they all have specialties in different areas too. And, you know, they're allowing them to really, you know, still stay in their lane, but also cross over when they need a lot of help. So, for example, on site, and this is just some more background based on the players that were there, David McIntosh is in the marketing team. Cyrus is on the licensing team. Eric is part of the operations team, right? And then Liv is direct to consumer. And so there's 4 different areas that were all working in a singular event, but they really weren't like doing their particular lane at the event. They were kind of crossing over. So it's like a very small startup feel, I would say, at some places where you still have people doing multiple things with multiple hats. Liv comes from a background from Hasbro, where I'm sure there's way more resources and more clearly defined roles. But it's interesting to see kind of where they're at this phase of their growth, to, you know, still have that small company feel where you have to kind of pull all in and help out and have us content creators supporting or, you know, giving them feedback on what they need to improve on. So that's just some small background.
How many cosplay outfits do you think your mom owns?
Mrs. Kong does not own cosplay outfits, but Mrs. Kong's or Us has quite a few, so many. In fact, I did want to do a little trip down memory lane on the various cosplay efforts and things that we've done over the years. Is that something you want to see, Fox, at all?
Absolutely, yeah.
At some point. So we talked a little bit about Arcade1Up. I did want to just do a quick super chat. So since NBA Jam has an XL and Golden Tee has an XL, I'm sure it's just another release of the 1983s, and an XL, that's their pattern. So that definitely makes sense to have an XL cabinet. So if they do re-releases, Star Wars probably does make sense to be one of those ones that does have a re-release. So Time Crisis update. I don't think that's been confirmed at all, but I know that there's been speculation. What's the one thing that had the master list of the roadmap for this year that you've been covering?
The GameFly leaks.
The GameFly leaks. Yes.
We were talking about that tonight. So the jury's sort of out because David McIntosh said there's 2 biggies. And I said, listen, he's from Canada. He can say the word biggie and it's fine. So the 2 biggies. So if we assume NFL Blitz is one of the biggies, so what's left, right? So we got Time Crisis, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. What do you think? Now, my speculation is he also said this is the year of the XL, not the Pro. I thought that Time Crisis could have been an XL because of the price difference. If it's a Pro, it's delayed to next year. So that means that this year we get Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is great. But if Time Crisis is an XL, then Time Crisis is the second biggie. And Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is actually Marvel vs. Capcom II, and P-Dubs wins, and we can't have that.
It's a re-release with that Marvel cab right behind you.
So, it's
I don't know. Like, you know, just really quickly before speculation about those 2 things, like, I think the titles that we saw in the GameFly leaks, I personally believe that they're 100% true just because they've been so accurate, right?
Absolutely.
I do think that they probably had plans to try to do something at Evo. There was going to be a strong presence there from John and several other folks. I can say I hope that's something that could still happen, but I'm not quite sure still. You know, it's one of those things that takes a lot of work to make something like that happen, but if all things align right, that could still happen. But I'm getting a little worried that it might not. So maybe that might not be the place for a big announcement, but it could be something or a place to kind of tease it. I do think so. But also, Time Crisis would be an interesting way. They still have a little obstacles in terms of like the game list and what to do. In fact, we have an expert that loves talking about game lists and speculation. In fact, he's right here. Michael B. the Game Bean. What's going on, man?
I'm just here for Jeff Rainwater. I hear he likes when people jump on other people's shows. And
he loves that. It's his favorite thing.
That's super fun because we're all planning the Illuminate Con. Is this the Illuminati Con?
Illuminati Con.
Yes, it's going to happen.
Still have not gotten paid for working at your event.
This is true. I owe you anything you want. Can I offer you another beverage, Mrs. Kongzaras?
I would like John to offer me another beverage because we are not getting paid for any of this stuff.
Oh, this
perhaps
is true.
A GoFundMe.
For my beer fund.
Yes, the beer fund. I can get you another beer fund. What's up, Michael B? We're talking about, I know you were on Console Kids earlier today. We're talking about potential 2 cab releases. Do you have any other thoughts about
the 2 biggies?
2 biggies. If there was 2 big releases coming up this year, what do you think they're going to be?
So most realistically, going by the GameFly leaks, which have so far proven to be very good to us, I feel like the 2 most realistics are NFL Blitz, or Blitz, as we saw in the back of Deion Sanders' picture. And the other one I think is Time Crisis, but it's an XL cab based on the price point. That's my view.
That seems to be a common theme going around. But XL is just a price point, not like.
No. I think that Arcade1Up has heard a lot of fan feedback, and there's people in the community that said, you know what would make Big Buck bigger? If I put like a 75-inch TV in it. So I think that they heard that the screens were a little bit too small. And I think if there is a focus on doing XL on a very specific cabinet going forward, maybe a first time out of the gate, a shooter does make sense.
That makes So I mean, Fox is so prepared. I mean, look at this.
As always, yes.
Having a beautiful slide here that's comparing the price points of the Blitz and the Time Crisis cabinet. And this is just your render, obviously, if you're on the right hand side, right?
Exactly. That's just an image, a Google image, yes. But I think the $800 price point is the kicker. That's the biggest price we've seen for a 3/4 scale cabinet. If it's 3/4 scale, we're thinking.
I think the most expensive on the whole GameFly list was that.
Yes.
That the expensive one?
Yes.
On there? Okay.
The only thing that tops this is going to be your Infinity game table.
That's true.
Yeah.
It does make me wonder about why it would cost that much if they're going to go that high.
Well, I've got some thinking on it. I might be wrong. What was the price of the Shaq NBA Jam arcade in the US?
I believe it was $6.99.
Yep, it is $6.99. Okay, so my thinking's a little bit flawed, but a little while ago, Twisted Chris was coming on shows in chats, and he was shouting out that he was very close with John D, and that to expect the Pro Cabs, you're going to get Pro Cabs at $1,000, and the price point difference for drivers and shooters was going to be about $200 more. So I think when Shaq was originally announced, they talked about like a $5.99 price point, and then going by Twisted Chris's logic, if you can believe that he got that information from John D, it just seemed like it made so much sense that the shooter would be $200 more on the pro level. Maybe it would be for the XL cab as well. It's just I can't see them trying to push a shooter out the door for $7.99 unless this thing's got some kind of bigger feel to it. I mean, how well determined it itself for $6.99.
Exactly. And then we know that Time Crisis is a single player experience. It's a 1-player cab. So my thought process is, okay, we take an XL Golden Tee, $6.99 cab. We add a gun and a pedal. I mean, that sort of justifies the $100 markup at $7.99. That's just what I'm thinking.
Yeah, based on the rumors of the game list, though, they would have to truly make it a two-gun cabinet still. So even though the original Time Crisis is a single player, you would have probably a single pedal for the Time Crisis games. But for the additional games, if there's not 2 guns on there, I mean, that's blasphemy. If they had the original Namco games, I mean, obviously they're not going to have the clocking thing, but if they did, that would be freaking cool.
That's a good point.
It has to have some sort of mechanism for that too. That was another super huge feature of those Namco games, or Namco gun games specifically. I have real ones. They're fantastical. Maybe it is just the engineering of the additional gun and hardware. Like the pedal is not going to be the racing pedal. It's going to be a simplified version of the pedal that you see there.
It's a single pedal, right?
So, yeah, it's a single pedal, very simple. I think they can do it. So maybe it's upgraded hardware. A 19-inch screen makes sense, but I would think it would have 2 guns still. and possibly look similar to this, but not quite. But yeah, interesting points.
So here's another question. If you were going to do a Time Crisis and then it had Time Crisis 2 on it, you need 2 screens for Time Crisis 2,
You have to have
right?
2. Yes.
Unless it's the PS2 version that did split screen.
Split
Yeah,
screen.
exactly. Yeah.
But there was talk a while ago about Arcade1Up doing some kind of 6-player cab for X-Men. And that would obviously have to be some kind of widescreen monitor. Is there a possibility that Time Crisis maybe a 3/4 scale, but maybe it'll be the first 3/4 scale that has a widescreen monitor to accommodate Time Crisis 2?
I think this is that line that we have to try to. It's originally
I just like throwing shit out there,
No, I agree. To me, it makes a lot of sense to have maybe a 27 or a 32-inch screen cut in half, the split screen, and you can have your 2-player experience. The original, arcade game was a physical cabinet. It was like, okay, Time Crisis 2 had 2 cabinets like connected, and there you go. They've not always been 100% beholden to the arcade games from the past. It's possible they could do that. It would make more sense to do that really than to try to have 2 cabs or require somebody to buy 2 cabs. It may be inevitable that they go with the widescreen format. I'm not sure. It makes sense though.
But I think the biggest indicator about Time Crisis 2, though, and this just goes back to my emulation knowledge of running gun games itself. Like
System
Time
23,
Crisis 1 runs really well in MAME off of System 22, as well as all those other gun games like the Namco Point Blanks and Still Gunners. Time Crisis 2 is still actually technically a difficult game to run. And most people that play Time Crisis 2 on a modded light gun system use the PS2 version of that game. And so when we think about resources of previous folks that are previous cabs, right, they're kind of still in the MAME era, right? They've not gone into doing a full-on dedicated emulator that can run harder software and above. So mixing that is probably one of the biggest considerations on why maybe they're separate, right? That's going to be one of those things that you look at.
I mean, I think it makes sense. I think that there's a point at which if Arcade1Up wants to push forward, once you break that threshold, you're going to have to get really serious about your hardware. I mean, System 22 and anything below that is going to be a different category than once you go beyond that. Even Namco System 23, beyond Time Crisis 2, there's no bangers on that games list. So now we're talking about Sega Model 2 or Sega Naomi or some, to really get into that, to emulate that accurately, it's going to be a big leap. And I think that's probably where they're going to go. So maybe they do all they can to mine all the games, that came before that, before they make that jump. But I guess we're kind of at that line, aren't we, guys?
We're close. I think we're really close. And, all the modern requests out there for these games are now basically a question of when, not kind of if, because it's when those chipsets could become, financially feasible to put into a small PCB case with the fan spinning and whirring so that it doesn't like heat up. And like most of these games, when I emulate them, you probably are using a low budget PC. Oh, hello there, Michael B. So I don't know what Mrs. Kongzarus is going to say when she gets back here. Hello.
Hi.
Good to see you. My daughter is downstairs playing with her Gabby's dollhouse. So.
Hey, Gabby's dollhouse was a hard to get item this past Christmas. We couldn't get it Christmas time, but we got it after the fact. And now my daughter doesn't like it anymore. Of course, after I go through the trouble of getting it, right?
Of course.
Move. It's time to move, Michael. Come on.
The funny thing about kids these days, I know you just brought in your kid, but I'm like, getting our kids to play these arcade games is a challenge as well. And one of the things that I did recently, because I was just at a trip to Tahoe, and then I went to Reno and went to the Circus Casino with the arcade. And I was talking to somebody about, like, you used to be able to just drop your kid. Oh my goodness.
It's Rogue.
It is Rogue. Shit. Breaking something. All right. It's the cosplay theme thing going on. Sorry.
I literally have to know who has more costumes. Mrs. Kongzarus or P-Dubs. I would need to see their closets.
I gotta zip you up. All right, here you are. All right, gotta
Where's the gray? You got to have the one gray. Or the two.
It's sparse throughout the hair.
Yeah,
Thank you,
she's
COVID.
starting a little bit of it too.
She usually only dresses up in the rogue costume after B comes home with another arcade. The gray just shoots out.
Exactly, ready to give me
You
that.
should
kick,
do that
right?
before. Yeah.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you. I love it. So I was just talking about getting our kids to play arcade games. I mean, I just had this conversation with you earlier about how difficult it is to, if you give a kid $10 at an arcade these days, they'll go through it like this.
Oh, yeah.
Where like because everything's a swipe system. There's no like
There's no
I have to
camcorders.
think about what I want to play and how much it's going to cost. So and maybe I enabled this because we went to that arcade and I got a card and I was like, oh, if I put in $100, I get $30 free. So I just put in $100 and gave him a card. And then the whole time they're like, they never once looked at the price of the arcade machine. They were just swiping like no end.
Oh,
and then
dear.
as soon as they died,
Dear Lord.
it just kept going. There was no like sense of like, oh, I want to save that game is going to cost me this much. I need to save it because I only have this much. I don't know. Do you miss that? Like, I wanted to think about ways I could instill that in my children, the value of playing a game, but I don't know how.
I know exactly how you do it.
How do
I
you
bet
do
we
that?
I bet we all have the same exact experience. Remember when you had a $20 bill and you walked in and you put in the machine and you had your cup and it had a cup of $20 worth of quarters or tokens or whatever. And mom would give it to me. This is all you got. And so you look at it and you're like, and you walk around and it's heavy. And at first you're all like, woo. And then you're like, oh no, it's starting to get, the cup is getting light. What do I do? That was my experience.
3/4 scale change machine. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, maybe
My
or just
little box was like $20. My parents were like,
$5.
That's 20 quarters.
You get 20 quarters, and this has to last you 30
Don't
minutes.
make me
while
out
we're
to be some
shopping.
rich person. Come on now.
Not even 30 minutes. My parents left me at the arcade for 2 hours.
Okay, and then that's why that's what live spectating mode was, right? You would just watch.
Well,
other
that's a good
people
point.
play.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I spent more time lurking at the arcade than I did anything else. I'd watch other people what they played and tried to figure it out myself, like what would be good.
Did you also have $5 on you too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see,
Maybe
$20
came later.
$100 on a card is so different. I know the cards make more sense. It's part of how arcades make money these days because people use them.
Yeah, but you guys remember that, right? The weight of the coins. It was a big deal. You put the bill in there and all the sound of it coming out of the change machine was
It's
so
like
cool.
my favorite machine. You always won with the change machine, right? Like,
yes.
I remember the sound of pinball, how it was more expensive, how your ball would disappear immediately. And you'd be like, man, what a ripoff.
You felt the clunk.
The actual reason why I never played pinball because it was such a fast experience that, you know, if you don't know the game.
I remember personally being backstage and not being allowed to come on the stream. That was really hurtful. I think that maybe if you check, there might be somebody.
If I scroll down of somebody else who's dancing back here.
There he is. There's the guy
trying to get your attention. What's up, everybody? How you doing?
You know how StreamYard has a number of screens,
but
and then the bottom part.
You're like at 800 by 600 resolution right now. His icons are this big.
Oh really?
Yeah.
There's so much going on.
He needs
I'm
fix
sorry.
that.
What's up, Dubs? Thanks for jumping on, man. I know
Not much.
Comic-Con, right? And talk.
Oh, I love Comic-Con, and I
Love
need
it.
to talk about Comic-Con because this this company, this publisher, they sent me a video game to review, and they sent me a Switch code, and I downloaded and I played the game, and it's probably the worst game in the history of games. And I was so upset with the game. I just got done typing him an email like, look, I really can't review your game. Like, you do not want me to review this game. Like, this is bad.
Was it Live Alive? It was Live Alive. You can
no, it was a racing game. It's it's on Switch. It's Redout. No. It's have you guys ever played Redout on Switch? It's kind of like F-Zero, you know, it's like the hover racing games. Well,
horrible.
The sequel just came out, Redout 2. And the publisher sent me the game, and they're like, "We'd love for you to review your game." And it's the worst. It's the worst. And I'm like, I can't do it. I'm like, I could do it, but you're not gonna like it. I'm like, you know. But hey, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so yeah, I want to talk Comic-Con. Mrs. Kongs R Us, you look fantastic. I was gonna pop on the stream wearing my Darkwing Dubs costume and surprise you, but the duck bill that goes around here, I can't find it. It's in here somewhere. And I was
that's
Put it on,
Like-
like, just do it.
so,
Yeah,
you
no.
know,
D-Dubs, you know that's just for the bedroom. Come on.
you know, well, I put the purple T-shirt on. I had
Yeah.
the
With the
hat.
duck bill.
no
I had the
judgment
hat.
zone here. No
I
judgment.
had the hat. I had the
Yeah.
cloak. I had it
Yeah.
all ready, and I can't find the damn duck bill. And so I had to take
Man.
all that off. So yeah.
Ready to roll.
Yeah.
But that's the question, Michael B. So,
Yeah.
like, I asked 19K Fox before about his cosplaying days. Michael B., have you ever cosplayed at any type of convention fan gathering?
No, I'm a massive stick in the mud. I had to go to. We don't have conventions here in the island. I'm on Newfoundland. We do have one called Sci-Fi and the Rock, and I had to stop in one time to visit one of my friends. And I'm so foreign to it, like it's so confusing to me. I walked in and I saw people dressed up, and I was like, "What is wrong with these people?" Like, it's so foreign to me just because we don't have it here. But it's something that's becoming more normalized in my life now. So not as weirded out by it. I don't dress up. I dress up as the fat guy trying to get through the convention around all the people dressed up.
Stop.
Back when Fat Thor came out, everybody that was a little bit overweight was like, I now have somebody I can
Dude.
cosplay as. And so there
Yes.
was so
Yeah.
many like
You know what? It was great. Finally, representation in a superhero movie.
yes, that was yes.
Them dad bods.
I know, dad bods for the win. P-Dubs, I know you've cosplayed at a convention before. Like, have you
Plenty of
ever gone
times.
to a fan
Plenty of times.
convention?
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
plenty of times. Anyone who's friends with me on my personal Facebook account, probably there's photo albums of me going to C2E2 in Chicago. That's the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo. We went 7 years in a row. We cosplayed every year. I've gone to the Indianapolis Pop Culture Convention a couple of times as well, because it's only a 3-hour drive from Chicago. Same kind of thing. Obviously, huge events, but nowhere near as huge as San Diego. San Diego is the mecca that I have not been able to go to yet myself. So I'm hoping to get there one of these years, even though it's going to be absolute madness. Absolute madness.
It's insane how much it's changed since like we started going. So when we first started dating almost 20 years ago, it was like you just show up, you get a ticket, you go in.
Not that way anymore.
It is not. Yeah. So the first time we ever went to Comic-Con was in 2005. We had just pretty much graduated from college, and we were kind of discovering going different places. And I was like, "Hey, babe, you want to go to Anime Expo and Comic-Con with me?" She's
Hell of a pickup line.
Yeah. You know, I had upgraded from like, "Hey, babe, you want to go to Costco for me and like taste some snacks and get some freebies?"
You
like,
and me.
so you know, I was working on my dating game, but
It wasn't Costco back then. It was Price Club.
oh, a Price Club way back in the day. But I had impressed her honestly with my cosplay skills. So back in 2005, I was part of a hip hop dance group, believe it or not. And one of the things we had to do as a finale for the for our end of the year banquet, like the boys of the dance group had to dress up in a sort of like themed costume. And my task that was given to me was, B, you have to become a transformer. And I was like, all right, what can I do? I worked in a computer lab back then, so I had access to all these boxes. And this is what I came with. And we did a fashion show dressed up like this.
That is amazing.
It's a little bit choppy. I'll upload it so it runs a little bit better, but I still have my original Optimus Prime helmet.
20 years later.
Yeah,
That is so cool.
It still fits.
this was my very first cosplay, and I wore this at Comic-Con that year, and we went on a Sunday because you can still buy single days. It was super easy to get there, and it was 2005, the year that they announced the very first Transformers movie, which came out in 2007.
Oh,
so
my
they had
God.
a full-size Optimus Prime truck there, just
Dude.
the truck, not the
I remember
not the full
that.
size.
Yeah.
And so
Painted up.
since I was dressed as Optimus Prime, they let me like store my costume there while I got to walk around. But I was walked around and hounded for pictures. But I thought it was a pretty fun ride. I know it was a little choppy, but that was my favorite.
You have the touch. You have the power.
You got to dare to believe, B.
Dare to you mean dare to be stupid?
Dare to be stupid.
Also in the movie.
Yeah.
Best soundtrack ever, by the way. Best
Great.
soundtrack ever.
Oh yeah.
Phenomenal
Oh, yeah.
movie. Absolutely.
Super good. Oh, so good. I mean, so I was a huge Transformers fan in college. In fact, had a collection. This has also made me feel really old too. Me and my roommate, I would do Transformers. He was really into Marvel Legends. Do you remember the Marvel Legends action figures?
Yeah,
it came with a comic book inside of it. So this year at Comic-Con, they start off, this is the 20th year anniversary of those figures coming out. And so they're making new versions of those figures as the 20th anniversary. But the old ones are so cool because they came with a comic book and they came with a wall mountable base. So you can like put them all on the wall and then put your action figures on it. So my roommate was like, he'd have girls over and they'd be like lying on their bed and it'd just be this wall of action figures. I was like, oh, so cool. And then I had my little wall of Transformers and I'm like, yeah, what's up, Mrs. Kongs or us? She wasn't that back at the time, but she was so impressed by all these toys in that college apartment, weren't you? Right? That's totally why I was able to grab you, right?
Tell us about the conversations between you girls. He's so hot with his Optimus Prime. Oh my God.
He brings home 10 figures a year.
Toys in his room.
Oh yeah, I could dance with the best of them, and then afterwards I was like, "Look at my lightsabers!" Ooh.
What's up, girl? Darth Vader ain't got
You
nothing
guys are
on
so
me.
funny.
So off topic completely. Have you ever seen Cybertronic Spree? I've always wanted to go see them perform. Do you know who they are?
I have not. No, is that a cover band?
Oh yeah. Well, when you're done here, check out Cybertronic Spree. That's all I gotta say.
She's heading out. She might be grabbing something else. Oh yeah, look! She just found my new wave toys.
Look at that, the change machine.
This is what I got from Prime Day. So fun. Speaking of change machines, at least they have one that you can purchase. So to go with my Cuber collection. I have not, but I definitely would check that out. So
oh yeah, you got to check them out. Trust me, your cosplay will be super inspired by what they do. Trust me.
So when Mrs. Kongzaros gets back, I will show off the rest of our mini cosplay journey from the rest of San Diego Comic-Con. But that was pretty much today's topic stream of stuff. Or actually, maybe I'll show it without her. I don't know if she'll get embarrassed or not. But yeah, what else did you guys want to cover? Did you have anything you wanted to show off, Dubs? I know you came in here for a reason.
Well, I wanted just to hang out with you guys. So.
Oh, I just wanted to.
I got some funny Comic-Con photos if you guys want to see them.
Yeah, I do. I really want to talk about cosplay and stuff. If you saw my thumbnail, obviously I had a bunch of fun cosplay.
This one is for 19K Fox. If you want to share my screen, so there you go, Fox. This is me. This is me.
See? A true lover.
Standing next to the Predator. You know what I mean? So, gotta love the suit.
Perfect.
I still have the suit. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So that's pretty funny stuff right there. This is the best part about Comic-Con is you run into all kinds of people. You guys remember Comic Book Men? This is Ming from Comic Book Men. I ran into him on the show floor.
Dude.
So that was really cool. I got to run into him, so that was pretty fun. That's what Comic-Con's all about, right? That's what it's all about. And then my wife and I is Waldo and Carmen San Diego, which was a lot of fun at the C2E2 as well. So we had a blast there. Now I have a great Waldo story to share with you, and it's really, really quick. So here, let me stop sharing my screen. So what's funny is I'm dressed up as Waldo, and we're at C2E2, which is in Chicago, and they have professional wrestlers are always at C2E2. So sure enough, CM Punk was there and a bunch of other wrestlers, and they were hosting a panel in one of the panel rooms. I'm dressed as Waldo, and I go into the panel room and I sit down, and I'm like kind of like 2/3 of the way back, but in the middle, right? And like the panel starts and CM Punk comes out and a couple other wrestlers, and there's a guy interviewing them. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, CM Punk stands up in the middle of the panel and goes, "Waldo, I found Waldo. He's right there." And oh my God, I got like a huge round of applause from everybody.
That's awesome.
But here's the thing is I completely panicked because CM Punk was talking to me, right? And CM Punk was my hero at the time, right? And, I was like shaking in my chair and stuff, and my wife was laughing at me. She's like, CM Punk saw you. And I'm like, I know. You know what I mean? I was all panicking and stuff, but that was a fun moment as well. But yeah, man, I love going to these pop culture conventions. It's nerd heaven. It really is. And if you look at this year's San Diego Comic-Con, in my opinion, who stole the show? Marvel stole the show at
Marvel,
this
yeah,
year's
yeah.
Comic-Con.
Well,
With
it's
all
been
the movie and TV show announcements.
Well,
Crazy.
Comic-Con has a lot of elements to it
Yeah.
specifically. So there's the big exhibition hall, right? There's the 300, it's not even say 300. It's like it starts at aisle 100 and then it goes 200, 300, 400, and it goes all the way to 6,000. So there
Yeah.
are 60 aisles of stuff to look at. You could spend all 4 days and not find everything at exhibition hall. Then you have your panels, obviously, right? So Hall H is normally considered the big one with the Marvels, the Star Wars, the Game of Thrones back when they did that. And so they have a lot of good stories about getting into Hall H because those are the marquee. And Saturday is normally the big day. So Marvel obviously had big announcements, but then they had the lower ones. And then I'd never really discovered that they have a whole gaming pavilion section at the Marriott, which is a sub hotel. So they get more space over there. That's where I went for the pinball side of things. There's an esports arena over there too. So I was like, man, there's still way too much stuff to do in 4 days. So it's really crazy.
A really cool piece of advice is if you have an on-scene correspondent and you ask him to go to the Stern booth, he's going to go to a different booth that just has some pinball games for you to play.
He subverted your expectations.
Bro. They were related.
It's like, can you get me the latest news on Capcom shit? Yeah, I'll go to the GameStop booth.
Yeah.
It was Stern
Same
related. So I learned about the Pinball Lounge by going to the Stern booth, by the way, because they had it. But man, Capcom booth was at aisle 100. Stern booth was at aisle like 4,000. And then the gaming pavilion was kind of on the other side, closer to 100. So I had to make a decision.
So Shoe Shine's right, and you were right, B. There was no in-person Aussie pinball machine anyways. I had only seen pictures that they announced an Aussie pinball and assumed one will be there, but it's just an
redemption.
Right
Plus, you got to see my best Godzilla impersonation, right?
That was amazing, by the way.
Amazing. No.
So did anybody else think that DC kind of just, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing. You have Superman, you have Batman, you have all this talent, and they're like, yeah, we're making a Shazam movie. And
DC Super Pets, hello, it's coming.
But like there was all this talk that we were going to see, what's his name, Henry Cavill come back as Superman.
Come on.
No.
So it's
you don't like Cavill as Superman?
No, I love him. I hate the fact that
Henry
DC
Cavill
is so
instead of Henry
disjointed. I love the Snyder cut. Listen, how many times can you watch a 4-hour movie and it goes by like that? Me and my wife watched it and we were like, it's over? Really?
All right, we have somebody that is going to tell us DC or Marvel. What is it going to be?
This guy, he will tell you the story.
I legally have to say Marvel.
He's associated. He's affiliated.
Put an asterisk
anything else?
by it. No.
There's only one person affiliated with us that would say DC, and his name is Nostalgia. And for some reason, he hates streaming with us. He hates friendship.
I told him to come on right now and show off. We were talking cosplay, and that boy loves to be Batman, right? So
he hates all of us.
Oh my
God! I'm gonna have to mute my microphone.
My outfit from 20 years ago.
So yeah, when I went to Comic-Con my first year wearing that, she wore this to Anime Expo and Comic-Con. She was just schoolgirl go-go.
Yeah.
No? Yeah, from Kill Bill.
Where's the sword?
Oh yeah.
I have a
Anyways,
confession to make.
Yes. We're talking cosplay stuff right now.
I can't wear clothes from 20 years ago.
Oh.
Most of us can't, Justin. Most of us can't.
Justin, have you ever cosplayed as anything going to... I think I asked you this before. You said that you wanted to do a Jedi robe thing, but you did not, right? That's not your thing?
Right. I tricked my family into doing
your family into wearing that.
Yeah.
So,
all right. You didn't do it?
I didn't do it because if I did it, then it's not a joke. The joke was I got all of them to dress up, and then I showed up in like a suit, basically.
And you laughed at them,
and I was like, "Oh, I got dressed up."
Yeehaw hard.
So
while Mrs. Kongzarus is here dressed up, we're gonna do a quick trip down memory lane to show off our various cosplays throughout the years going, because this was a cosplay themed thing, and you gentlemen are here for the ride. So this was you saw the 2005 outfits. That was us as Optimus Prime and
2005.
Yes. Oh, okay. So yes, you can show off your 2005. She still fits in a 2005 outfit. But this was 2006. Do you remember this?
Yes, that is.
Nice.
Yeah, she was lovely Tifa there. There's a Sailor V there as well too. So did you enjoy being Tifa?
Yeah, I was Sailor V's bodyguard.
Ah.
I literally like fought off nerds.
Yes, exactly. That was what she tried to
I
do
did.
there. You did?
Mhm.
There was nerds there
Mhm.
trying to attack Sailor V?
Mhm.
Ah, okay. So this
It
was,
happens.
and this is all homemade, by the way. So she has an amazing, talented mother who's a seamstress that made her that costume. So it's like, hey, we want to do some cosplay. Let's do that. All right. So in 2000, and so I'm skipping a lot of years because I don't have a lot of photos from in the in-between years where we didn't cosplay. But when we started having a family, we went back into family cosplaying. So to your point, if we can involve other people, this was me dressing up my son as Hey and my daughter as Pua, and we had a group of friends that were doing a Moana theme thing. So like we didn't get dressed up, but we got the kids. I got so much props for this Hey outfit because I made it out of a hat and did the whole duckbill thing. So I was super happy with my Hey outfit. So that's always fun. Like group cosplaying, family cosplaying, super fun. So yeah, that's that. Then we went to, finally we got dressed up as the rest of it at Disneyland, where she was Moana and I was, guess who I am?
You're that. What is it? The old turtle in what is it? Freaking Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo, yeah.
Ocean.
I'm the ocean from Moana,
Wait,
right?
you're the.
Isn't the ocean
Okay.
a character in Moana? Right?
You can't be the ocean.
Right?
Do you not
Right?
see the waves?
Oh, somebody else came to me and was all like, "Oh, dude, are you the East Australian current?"
That's what I
was like,
was
"Oh,
thinking.
that would have
bro.
been really good
That's what
too."
I was
but
thinking.
The East Australian current would have. I'm the EAC, would also acceptable answer. But in terms of the Moana outfit, yeah,
Well,
spandex.
That's a tough thing to fully encapsulate. Like the ocean, that's tough.
You
But
gotta
it's
zoom
not
in,
bad.
though.
It's not
legit.
bad.
He has like the stone, the hardest people.
Oh yeah, the heart of the PT. Look at that. Look, I drew that. That's the heart of the PT. You drew that.
my
So like,
gosh.
look, yeah, it
That's
makes
awesome. That's awesome.
All right, so family cosplaying, that was us as well. There's our old cat.
Oh my God, you're the ocean there, right?
Yes. Oh yeah, thank you. You got it. That one you can tell I'm the ocean. All right, so this was a fun Monsters Inc. cosplay back when our daughter was small enough to be Boo.
Oh,
Mike
that's
and Sully.
adorable.
And you are,
That's
what's
good.
your name?
Oh, just Cecilia.
Yeah, Cecilia was
Mike's
was
girlfriend.
Mike's
Which one was-
girlfriend. So we like to do Disneyland a lot. That was our family cosplay. So then she revisited.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
This is
cool.
what
You're the guy from General Hospital.
Yeah.
It's obviously
Yes.
Law and Order.
Yes.
Like, damn it! Come on.
No. That's the joke. The guy who does the voice is from one of the. He is like Jackson or Jakeson or from General
in the
Hospital.
the English version. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Michael
B,
B,
if
you have to explain the joke. It's not a joke anymore. I love you. But
What?
if we could leap into this picture and then we walk upstairs, there'd be no cabinets up there.
There would
right?
be no arcade
That's
cabinet.
Oh,
This is
Yeah.
true. This is true. This
That's
this
a
is
sad
not
life.
A side life
This
for
country
far.
was so
But
much
this is
happier.
so this was on my 35th birthday, and we went to the Magic Castle in Los Angeles with
How
our
long
good
ago was
friends.
that?
And,
Hollywood.
last
yeah,
year.
yeah. What's that? It was a couple years ago. But yeah,
He's
those are our
so
good
young.
friends. All Mights from My Hero Academia. So that was a really awesome All Mights. They were good there. We also dressed up as a family at we used to play a mobile app game called Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. And we went to a festival, and then I dressed up my son as a chocobo and my
That's
daughter as a
awesome.
Moogle. So when we went on stage to family cosplay, I was riding my son across the stage. I think there's a video of it somewhere, and we won
Okay,
best like family cosplay for something.
That's pretty awesome. That's
Yeah,
pretty
so
awesome.
riding your son as a chocobo as like completely like life
Inappropriate.
accomplishment. Back to wait, not back to Comic-Con. Like we did
What?
this is more family cosplay, but yeah, this is
Anime
Anifest. So this is our Macross cosplay. I'm
Nice.
Karu. She's Minmay.
Very
Uh-huh,
nice.
She's
uh-huh,
a 4-foot SD. Awesome. I made it out cardboard
Again,
costume.
cardboard.
Cardboard costume. Oh yeah, that was at E3 right before. I dressed up as E3 and
you gotta-
found a better cosplay.
You got to slow down. What's the sword made out of? Is that cardboard? What is that? Is that
My sword?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
sword is a giant wooden thing. That's way
Is that
over there.
EA foam or what is that?
Yeah, it's all the way over there.
Oh no, it's right here.
So which sword do you have? Because yours isn't the Buster sword. His is the Buster sword.
So my cosplay is from Final Fantasy Advent Children. So
Okay.
it's
awesome.
it's
Oh,
the
okay.
movie
Love that.
version
Gotcha.
of the Final Fantasy, and so it's made out of wood and metal handle. So yeah, it's pretty heavy walking around. But
unscrew all these pieces. And
it's funny when you cosplay at like a gaming convention like E3. I got a lot of easy passes into lots of different booths and things, so it's interesting. So it might be a betterment because they think you're part of the con. But that was the year they released Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I couldn't even get into my own game to play it. They wouldn't let me in because the line was too long to play it. I was like, "What? I can't get in?
I'm in the game. I
I'm
have to
in
play.
the game," but it wasn't the right person.
Did you
That's
paste
probably
on eyebrows?
Yeah,
my
I
gosh.
did have some yellow eyebrows. That was me. I even have blue eyes too. So
Oh,
I know you can't.
wow.
Why
Look
would
at
you
that.
not dye the eyebrows? Come on.
Yeah,
If you're
Um,
committed, that's what you'll do.
trying to commit. All right, so this is probably my favorite family
That's
cosplay. So this was
awesome.
Oh,
Comic
this is the
Con.
one I love
That's
this
the
one.
Mega Man.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is cool.
Comic-Con 2018, I think we went. Obviously as Mega Man, and this is my favorite Dr. Wily impersonation. But
So-
so many people walked around was like, it's Doc Brown from Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Yeah.
Can I tell you a real story? That's what
Yeah.
Steven Nostalgia looks like when he takes off his wig. That's why he's not here right now.
It's
He's
so
gotta get
sad.
pretty up for the show.
We saw Nostalgia at the beach today.
Oh, we did see Nostalgia at the beach today, so we were hanging out.
I saw that picture. That was good.
Yeah, I gotta find that picture of
I
Nostalgia.
had no idea.
So this, to your point, when Dubs was saying that he got recognized by CM Punk, when
Yeah,
we
that was
took this
awesome.
picture at the Mega Man booth, the Capcom Mega Man official posted us on their Twitter, and I was like, all right, we made it. If we're cosplaying as something and that official group recognizes you, I was like, this is it. There's no
Yeah, you
way we
made it.
can top this. And like the next year, I keep getting motivated because I keep planning these things months in advance while we're going to Comic-Con. And so the last year we went to Comic-Con as a family was in 2019, and this was probably really, really super crazy. And this was my last final cosplay that we did, but as a family. So this was our Kingdom Hearts cosplay with Sora, and I did my goofy outfit. You did your beautiful Donald. What is it
It
called?
was Disney bound.
Disney bounding, where I was like, you gotta wear a full-on duck beak, and she's like, nope, I will find my own way to look like Donald, and she did it well.
She found her own way.
Yeah, I was like, no, you gotta get a big butt, and she's like, nope. I was
It's
like,
funny
"I'll
how
make it for
she
you."
looks exactly the same in every single picture. Like the first picture, this picture, exactly the same person.
Probably true.
I'm
Yeah.
basically pickled and
wine juice.
Wine.
There's
I love how my
nothing wrong
daughter
with that.
So happy in this picture. You know how a picture is worth 1,000 words and memories? We
Yeah.
drove down from LA to Comic-Con with everything here, except I forgot my son's wig for Sora's outfit. And so I was so upset that I paid a courier, I think like $200 to drive
No,
it
you
down to
didn't.
San Diego just so I could have it in time for this picture. Because I was like the family cosplaying was more important than like walking around the con. I was like, if he doesn't have the hair, it's not the same. And like we forgot it at home. And so
Sounds like
there's-
something a good dad would do. Yeah.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
I thought it was worth it.
Your
This
son's
picture is
hair
gonna
is
be,
as
he's gonna
important
frame
as
and
a...
look at this picture when he's like all grown up and be like,
with
look
his
what dad
sister
did.
going like, I need to go home.
Exactly.
right now.
That's a good picture of that. All right. And so
Yeah,
that
you-
was and this was this past year's cosplay of
Are you Marvel versus Capcom?
we are, yeah.
That's great.
Exactly.
That's a
Capcom.
great one.
That's right.
It's dignity.
Yeah.
Halloween.
And nice that you have some games in your loft. I can totally respect that.
Yeah, yeah, finally, right? So okay,
Yep.
so that's the end of memory lane. But I have something back. What else is here? What is this? What am I looking at?
This is me.
It's nostalgia.
This is so
nostalgia.
good.
Nostalgia's at the beach.
There.
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia's on stream. That is
He's there.
totally
Oh,
nostalgia
you can
getting
no
its
go down.
hand.
Go down the other way. Other
It's
way.
definitely it's got to be Nostalgia's in California. That's why he wouldn't come on the live.
You can
stream.
see his banana.
I'm gonna go to the beach, yo.
It's nostalgia.
It's got another dude like lotioning him up.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is so
Oh.
true, though.
Yeah, this is how I creepily just selfie yourself. And
You know what? No, go back and show that picture again. Go back and show that picture again.
Yeah,
I've
you
got
gotta
more
show
proof.
Yeah.
So look in the shirt. That's a Pokemon hat.
That is
It's him.
That's a Pokemon
Oh my
hat. That
God.
is nostalgia.
Where?
It is nostalgia.
Nostalgia was in LA at the beach. Don't let him lie to you. We have photographic proof.
Aha.
I know. His arms might not be hairy enough, though. That's the only thing. But
He shaved.
That's
with
true.
oh, he nared, didn't he?
He
Wasn't that
shaved.
something that
Yeah,
he had to do?
he shaved his arms. He shaved his arms.
He had to make sure he was tan ready. That's totally true. That's so true. Man, that's super funny. Man, Comic-Con's been a blast over the years. Do you miss it? Like, you didn't get to go this year.
I don't miss the crowds.
She doesn't miss the crowds. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a minute. It is one of the most crowded places you will ever go to, though. So if you don't like
Oh, yeah.
crowds, it's definitely not something for you. Yeah. Are any of you ever into like collecting the stuff at those conventions? Like, do you go to just see stuff, participate, buy things? Like, what do you do when you go to those types of things? You hunt?
Yeah, so for instance, I'm a big fan of the artwork, so I always hit the artist alleys and we
Ooh,
buy
nice.
prints, and I have like 11 by 17 prints all over my house. My house looks like a bunch of kids live here, you know what I mean? Like with all the different signed like Thor artwork and, you know, superhero artwork and
We
stuff
got
like
toys
that.
all over the
So,
house.
usually I go hunting for artwork for the most part. Whenever I go to these cons, I love going to Artist Alley, as well as I love meeting a lot of these cons are some really great authors. So grabbing those books and getting your books autographed and stuff is totally cool in my opinion. So
Have you ever gone game hunting before, Michael B, at any of these things? Like, you seem like you'd be the one that's digging in the dollar bins looking for
Well,
games or other things.
Like I told you about before, going to the Sci-Fi and the Rock convention here, that was the reason we went
Yeah.
to do game hunting. And yeah, I just went to meet like a local guy who said he was going to have something really cool at this thing, which was a Chippendale Rescue Rangers 2 cart. So I went and got that from him at Sci-Fi and the Rock. So
Do you still have it?
no, that's long gone.
It's what was really cool is there's the main booths like Hasbro, Mattel that are selling kind of the marquee things, but there's a lot of mom and pop kind of vendors that will bring their stores there, and obviously they have to mark up stuff to make it worth them going for things, but you can find some gems in them if you're willing to hunt. And on last day, Sundays used to be my favorite days to shop because it's the last day of the con. They don't want to take anything home. They got Sunday specials.
Fire sale
It's a
everywhere.
fire sale, and then like some booths get really creative, and sometimes like they get too popular where they have to do crowd control, but they'll do like mini auctions. They'd be like, all right, here's a
that's
statue of this
crazy.
Phoenix statue, let's go $1 or like $5, and you do like live auction stuff, or they'll do giveaways. So I got some really good stuff back then when I used to be collecting things more, but surprisingly I did not buy anything for myself this year except the Godzilla premium pinball machine.
Shut
I'm
up.
kidding.
that would have been
Kidding.
great.
I didn't.
That would've been
Would you really be upset if you bought that pinball machine? Think about like they don't depreciate in value, so it's basically an investment on his
Dude,
part.
she totally
I-
would.
I'm
All right,
going
so here,
in.
please,
She
like,
would
help me
not be
convince
happy.
her that
Why?
I should.
I'm just about to go in for the final sales pitch on my wife. I every week I go and I play Jurassic Park. It's the only one that's available locally, but I keep coming back to this same mall and I play it and I play it. And this last time I was like, I should just buy it.
Yeah.
And the idea is all like, the price right now for a brand new Jurassic Park pinball, I believe is at a price that I could have it for 5 to 10 years and then sell it and get my money back, if not make more. So I have that money in savings. I could literally just kind of move it from savings to my basement.
You sound like Kevin Hart. You see, I got a savings and a checking. I got a checking and a savings.
I see
So-
two pigtails disagreeing with you.
Also, listen, he needs to buy it because me, him, and Justin are working on a new infomercial we're going to have late at night. You see all those infomercials where people like put your money in silver now? We're going to be telling people to put their money
Here
in
you go,
pinball.
kids.
There you go.
Put your money in
What was it,
pinball.
triangle choke?
Yeah, it's demonstration for everybody.
Now maybe you shouldn't do it, B, because I know you bought a car recently. One of the reasons why I'm willing to do this expense is I'm a few years in from no car payments, right?
Mm.
So like we own all our cars
Mhm.
and we haven't upgraded, and we're not. We're just like we're
yeah,
good.
that money kind of saved,
you
ready
know?
to go
So
for
just like,
something. I can say from the hobby, I feel like
You
I've
do not touch
comfortably
my
enough.
Tesla fund.
No. Oh, so yeah, we just pre-ordered a Tesla. So that's fine. That's fine.
Pinball,
Outside of that,
Tesla, you know.
I think we have a really loving
Pinball.
relationship, right? Where we have something called an indiscretionary fund. We pay the bills. We have a joint account. I have enough in my indiscretionary fund that I can make a pinball purchase, and it just comes down to space more than
But
anything.
that,
It's
I
not,
know, but
it's really not the
but,
cost.
but that,
It's
but that
not the
look,
cost.
that look says something else. I know
Well,
you.
She might be like, you can have a pinball machine, but no more cosplay.
Oh,
Bro. Yeah.
why would you even put that in her head, console kids? I was kidding.
Already there. Look at her face. Oh my goodness.
So,
it's
so
so
would
serious.
it help you to know that this Godzilla pinball he wants is the highest rated pinball on
this what we're looking
Pinside
at?
right now?
What are we looking
Yeah,
at?
I did want to show it. So if you can make it larger, I don't know. Can I do that, or do you have to do that? How
You
does it
have to
work?
do that.
I
You
have to do that. How do
Control
I do
plus.
this?
Zoom in.
Control
Zoom in.
plus. Okay.
Hit the
Oh my
control
God.
and zoom in.
Not that.
Whoa.
We saw everything.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this is the closest I ever got to cosplay. We have a Mardi Gras Halloween here, so I dressed up as
He
Marty
was
McFly.
Marty
Look at that
at Mardi
sexy
Gras.
bastard.
That
And-
is good.
And we did
good-looking
have
dude.
and my buddy dressed up as Doc Brown, and we had a cardboard DeLorean that made it to one bar before it got destroyed.
Yes.
We spent 2 weeks on it.
That's heavy, Mike. That's real heavy.
It's heavy. It's
You
so
kinda
good. I love it,
look
man.
like-
Thank
you
you for
would all
sharing.
Marty
Cool.
look
I
like
appreciate
Marty.
that. So
Yeah.
so back to pinball talk. We can end the stream by talking about how everybody here on the panel is at some point going to, get another new, perhaps real pinball machine.
Real pinball.
They are that
Yeah.
fun and
I have
amazing.
one. Ha 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 ha.
Wait, did you? Oh, you have
How
one now.
dare
have your
you.
Mario.
Yeah, I
but
have one.
you've got a
He's got one.
small one. It's not a real pinball. It's,
Excuse
wow.
me?
Real.
You're
Excuse me?
gatekeeping
I don't
the
know.
pinball
Let me tell you something, Mike.
machines?
Listen.
That's my Super Mario Brothers Mushroom World pinball machine is worth more than your entire effing
Listen,
Arcade1Up
listen,
collection.
listen.
So don't even go there.
Listen,
Don't
I,
even
I
go
didn't,
there.
I didn't
know
put
about
any
that
values in it.
comment.
I'm sorry.
Don't
Are
even
you
go
the
there.
kind of person
no,
that
no, no.
equates value to
I'm just
like
saying.
Arcade1Up?
You can
collection?
talk all you listen.
You don't
everybody
have to be
you can
mean
talk
about
all
it,
the-
but it is a really cool pinball machine. I have
It
to
is,
give
but
you
you
that.
can
It
just-
is.
Talk
all
I
the
would.
smack
I
you
wish I
want.
had it.
It's
I'm
a
the
piece of
only one
piece.
here.
because it's technically classified
piece
as a
of-
smaller pinball.
Right, but I'm the only one on this panel who has a Surf Planet arcade.
That's true.
It's true.
You're good.
Congratulations, Fox.
There's
Slow
all
clap.
kinds of that's what she said jokes. I can go from here, Mike. With
That's
that
what
comment,
she
but we're,
said.
You know about
Slightly.
technically-
You know what, P-Dubs?
technically
You're
classified
used to
small.
this. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit smaller than everybody else's,
Motion
as long
in
as
the
you're happy
ocean.
with it.
Oh really? Oh really? Excuse me.
It's okay if it's smaller as long as you're happy
Excuse
with
me?
it.
As long as you're happy with it,
okay.
if it
I have
does
a
the
Star
job
Wars
for you.
symbol.
Mrs. Kongs can't handle.
Right.
She can't handle the
Don't worry,
euphemisms
Mike.
the other way.
If you sell 10,000 more Ridge wallets, maybe you'll be able to buy a Toy Shock pinball.
Maybe I'll be
Shots
able to buy a
fired.
Toy Shock pinball.
A Toy Shock pinball.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna do this, are we?
yeah.
Oh my god. Brother against
Oh,
brother.
this is gonna be
No,
uncomfortable
guys.
for you.
How do I
You
put
know
it
what?
by
Let's
little
settle
basic
this on
symbol?
Mortal Kombat. The machine
That's
you won't
right.
turn on.
Already
Yeah.
settled this
Oh,
on
oh,
Street
Let's settle this on
Fighter.
Mortal
30th.
Kombat.
Street Fighter.
Let's settle this on Mortal
Street
Kombat,
Fighter.
buddy.
What happened on Street Fighter? I don't remember. Maybe you don't remember. You were beat so bad.
Mortal Kombat is the new Street Fighter. We can do an FT5 in both. and
We
can
can't
make
use it. There's
happen.
no spectate mode and there's no lobbies. Can't be
Oh,
done.
that's
Sorry.
true.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
We cannot spectate mode, unfortunately, on
Darn
NK30th.
shame.
But there are some people that have been working on some background hacks to be able to do
Is
that
that
at some
true?
point. So, I think so. I think at some point people would be able to HDMI out. I think it's gonna happen at some point. I'm sure if there's an appetite for it, but let me know in the chat if you want to see an official P-Dubs versus Michael B MK30th
it.
match or
should.
Street Fighter match. That would be really fun.
We'll
We
settle
should let
this
the
on
chat
Mortal
decide.
Kombat, Mike. We'll
Settle this
on Mortal
like real men and play
Yeah.
video games. That's
the
how you
death.
play. Is there
To
any
the
other
death.
competitive video game that would be good besides like a fighting game? Like, could we do like a Capcom sports?
I challenge you. I challenge you. To
Rampage to the death.
Tetris
think-
on the At Games Legends Core Plus.
He's serious. He said Tetris.
I think you guys should
Oh.
battle it out
I
on
played,
NFL Blitz.
I played.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
no. Arcade Magic has it.
Mario Party Superstars, baby. I
Arcane Magic.
No. Puzzle Fighter to the death.
No, Tubin to the death. That's it.
Like
Who can
real
get
men,
down to the
Tubin
bottom
to
of the
the
river?
death.
Tubin sounds
to the
very,
death.
very, very plausible between the two of you guys. Justin, what did you say? I'm sorry, I missed it. What was your recommendation?
What did I say?
What did he say?
Oh, NFL Blitz.
NFL
Oh,
Blitz.
yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
got it. Yes.
Blitz to the
Confirmed.
death.
100%. There it is.
Yeah, just no late hits.
No late hits. Yeah, no late hits, Mike. No late hits.
It's the best part of the game.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Well, we've been chatting for an hour 15. We can just keep talking about nothing, or we can just do another final round and say final thoughts. So, Dubs, any final things you want to say to the folks out there for a Sunday night?
Yeah, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the evening. I popped in and out of most of the streams. These guys do a wonderful job on Sunday nights, bringing you retro gaming content and entertainment, as well as pop culture stuff tonight with this nice change of pace from the norm. So, I appreciated it a lot. And thanks for inviting me to come on for a few minutes just to hang out with you guys. We're all friends, so it's always fun to hang out with you guys.
We were friends.
Friends,
But,
that's gonna end.
yeah. I'm going to go play my real pinball now, Mike. I'll see you later.
Last time I was on a stream and someone
stings.
said they were going to go play their games and left, it didn't go so well.
God, this is wicked burn.
Mike, are you issuing a real challenge? What would the
No.
challenge be?
I want to apologize. Obviously, P-Dubs has the coolest. The Super Mario Gottlieb pinball is awesome. I love it. It's a little bit of a joke because it's a smaller pinball. And yes, it is worth more than all my Arcade1Ups because they are merely toys.
They are.
Really toys. Really toys.
They're merely toys.
What's the topic for Chill and Chat tomorrow? Do you have it yet, or is that a secret?
No
yeah.
idea. I had no
Secret?
idea.
Oh,
We're all invited.
My Monday show doesn't count? Jeez, man.
No, I'm gonna ask. Well,
Multicade Mondays, baby.
You're doing an S-Tron panel mod, by the way. You're giving a giveaway tomorrow night.
Yeah, so tomorrow on Multicade Mondays, if you watched my Tron mod video that we posted yesterday on YouTube, all you had to do was comment on the video to be eligible to get part of the random comment picker to win the Tron S panel, which we'll announce live on Multicade Mondays tomorrow night on my channel. So we're going to be giving away that S panel. Very excited about it. And just a heads up there, I'll give you guys a little behind the scenes stuff. I know Tulsa Arcades is talking to the people who make the monitor frames and trying to get a collaboration discount code with them as well.
Oh, nice.
Because the monitors are like $69 that you got to buy. So he's trying to get them to hook up a deal. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have some updates for that as well. So anything to help you guys make your cabinets better. It's what it's all about, right? So
nice. Cool. I love that you're doing some modding stuff, something that might make Michael B cry if he ever had to do that to his
You sons of bitches.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care if anybody mods their Arcade1Ups. This narrative is driving me nuts.
What's in that coffee cup, Mike? Is that a glass?
Fucking vodka, man.
It's a glass of Michael B's tears, is what it is. There you go.
Fox, are you still drinking whiskey? Or are you drinking tea?
Yes, sir. So for those of you that were on my stream earlier, the bottle is now empty. It's all gone. It's all gone. No, thank you so much for having me on, and I love every person on this panel. And I can't wait to see these two, over here kill each other in Mortal Kombat. So it's great. B, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks, man. Absolutely. And Justin, thanks for coming in, popping in. Hello. Thanks again for your help, by the way, on last Thursday's stream. I couldn't have done.
Killed it.
I know.
You killed it.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and just being my friend. There's something interesting that has come up in the chat. Wait, do I sound funny? What is going on? Why is my voice funny?
It's Rex from the Star Tours ride.
Okay, so we saw Nostalgia. But now I'm being messaged in the chat. If you've been following it, Console Fanboy and Rainwater are like freaking out because evidently they found someone on the internet that looks exactly like me.
What the hell?
Oh my god, guys. I don't know who this person is, but he needs to die.
I met this guy. Okay, that's not Justin. That's not the
Justin
Justin I know.
doppelganger.
This is
I weigh at least 10 pounds less than
Look at-
that, right?
look-
Fox?
The
Yes!
doppelgangers are
I mean, I'm a
enforced
little
today.
overweight, but not that much.
Zoom in
You
on
know
the
what
head.
he's saying.
Look at the frown. That is the
He's-
most
This
animated
is sad
frown.
kits right here.
This
He's
is
also
sad
like,
kits.
why are you taking my picture?
He's like, where the hell is she? She said she'd be right back.
let's get Stan Kits going in the live chat. Stan Kits right here.
Yeah.
Oh, you can put this on your next thumbnail.
Can you go back up to the face for a minute? Go back up to the face. That was Justin's exact face when he saw the Golden T 3D monitor for the first time.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Hashtag it's not playable.
Too soon,
Hashtag
guys.
not
Too
playable.
soon.
Too soon. Too soon.
When you don't go a whole show and you don't talk about aspect ratios,
Someone-
this is what
someone-
Justin feels like.
Someone needs to Photoshop this guy out of this picture and put him in front of a Golden T 3D right now.
When Golden
know.
T goes wrong.
Next time we do a collaboration stream and we put everyone on the thumbnail, if Justin's coming on the show, this is going on the thumbnail.
That's the one.
It's gonna be
And
great.
do the nostalgia one too, like the nostalgia nerd. That could be you. You can have nostalgia and Justin. I want to see a nostalgia Justin stream with those two guys hanging out. So,
I'm dying right now. I'm
It
so
looks so
dead.
much like you. It's uncanny.
I can totally see a Golden T cabinet in front of you in this picture. God.
well,
This is it. You don't have any of those $99 Simpsons cabinets in this Walmart? What the hell?
I want to speak to your manager.
Speak to the manager. You got any more of those 75 asteroids in the back? I know you got them in the back.
thank you, Jeff and Console Kids, for sharing this.
That was-
So, appreciate the fun laughs with everybody. It's been a fun,
I'm sorry.
I love it.
I didn't mean
fun
to.
particular show. Mrs. Congress,
We're gonna
I
use
know this
that
is
all
meant to
the
be Comic-Con
Oh,
and
so
just fun
good.
times reminiscing. And thank you for the several outfit changes today. Did you have any final
Yeah,
thoughts
thank
and
you.
words for our panelists and our guests?
You better not be buying that Godzilla.
Oh no, I didn't want her to say that.
It holds its
Yes.
value. It's
Yeah.
like safer than investing in silver right now.
Better than gold.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
so
It's a better
good.
idea than getting
Like-
a loan for anything. You will
Exactly.
only lose money with a loan.
Exactly.
increases
Interest
in
rates
value.
are going up.
Opposite. You
Assets
make
are
the
key
money.
right now.
It's
It's
the
Oh,
best.
losing a wife.
no.
No.
Oh, dude,
Alright,
don't
what?
no.
Okay, so let me negotiate.
No,
then.
no, no,
So
no, no.
What if
It's
I
not-
replaced a pinball machine with that
Yeah.
one? Would that be
Mhm, mhm.
plausible?
What if
Plausible?
we just get rid of the pinball machine?
No.
Ooh.
You
She
gotta
wants
you
to
gotta
walk
think
back,
through.
bro.
Don't use your emotions, use logic. Okay, so this is what it's like. He's already in the future sold it to the person he's gonna sell it to for more money than you're gonna buy it today.
That's right.
So
Absolutely.
console kids,
It's like reverse
$9,000
loan.
for that pinball. You take it now.
Are you $1,000 for that pinball?
9,000.
Oh.
No, it's not worth 9,000.
Yeah,
But
it's not
she's
worth
like
9,000.
saying, but yeah, I told her. I
No,
told her
I wouldn't
Godzilla
do
Premium.
that.
What you call it. It's not about the money. It's about this. I'm trying to move some things around. It's gonna happen. Don't
Can
worry.
you believe
Just
it? When
relax.
people come into our house and be
Alright.
like, "Hey, where's King Kong?"
That would be so cool. Kong versus Godzilla. Hello.
Oh my god,
I
that's
hope it just
brilliant.
makes-
Oh, I didn't put that
Dude, that
together.
thumbnail's gonna make your $9,000
Right?
back right there.
I think it's
That's a
gonna
great
happen
point.
sometime soon.
She's
Rather than
not
later.
even
I'm gonna say
considering
goodnight,
the
everybody. Thank you all
$30
so
he'll
much for
make off
joining
the
in.
video.
We'll see you guys later. Have a good night.
Maybe
Bye.
30.
I just wanted to look at this one more time before we ended the broadcast.
This is
because
so.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Bye, Justin. Bye. Don't be mad.
That's horrible.